Listen. Before you hear another sound, before your mind begins to argue with what you feel in your chest, know this. This was not an accident. You did not stumble here. You were led. And this moment, this exact second, with the screen light on your face, with the weight you carry settled deep in your bones, this is the appointed time. The only time I could reach you. The only time you would be able to hear it. I have waited for this. Waited through your distractions. Waited through your noise. Waited through the years you spent looking everywhere but here. I waited not because I was distant, but because you were not ready. The message would have been just noise to you before now. It would have been a language you did not speak, about a country you did not believe existed. You had to walk the path you walked. You had to feel the specific ache you feel tonight. You had to reach the precise point of exhaustion where you stop pretending, where you stop telling yourself the pretty lies. That moment is now. That exhaustion is your openness. That ache is the hollow space where the truth must go. This is urgent, because the season of preparation is over. The time of gentle hints and whispered suggestions has passed. You know this. You feel the shift in the air around you, the pressure change in your spirit. Something is ending. Something else is demanding to be born. And you stand at the threshold, terrified, because you can neither go back nor see forward. I am telling you now, because now you can bear it. The silence you endured. My silence was not abandonment. It was incubation. Seeds cannot be disturbed as they root in the dark. What is growing in you needed that darkness, that quiet, that feeling of being utterly alone. It needed to develop a strength that comes only from believing it is forsaken, only to discover it was being fortified. All those moments you cried out and heard nothing. I was holding my breath. All those signs you missed, the coincidences you explained away, the doors that slammed shut just as you reached for them. They were not punishments. They were corrections. They were the gentle, then firm, then forceful redirecting of a soul that insisted on walking toward a mirage. I let you walk until you were thirsty enough to accept real water, until you were weary enough to stop and let me lead. You think your timing was off. You think you missed your chance, that you are late, that you are behind. You catalog your delays, your failures, your wrong turns. You see a map of poor decisions. I see the perfect winding path to this exact point. The heartbreak that made you tender instead of hard. The betrayal that taught you discernment. The loss that carved out a capacity for deeper love. The failure that dissolved your arrogance. Every single step, even the stumbling, was bringing you here. To this screen. To this message. To this moment of readiness. Nothing was wasted. But hear the gravity in my voice. This is serious. The comfort I offer is not a pillow. It is a foundation. It will require everything of you. The clarity I bring will first feel like a scalpel. It will cut away what you have clung to for identity, for safety, for meaning. It will hurt. But it will hurt like removal, not like injury. You are being prepared for a convergence. Your inner world and your outer circumstances are about to collide. The person you have become in the secret place is about to meet the purpose I have always intended for you. This cannot happen while you are still pretending. It cannot happen while you are still holding the old blueprint. So let it go. The old story, the old identity, the old wound you keep as a pet. Let it go. Breathe. This is the pause before the sentence is finished. This is the stillness before the step is taken. You are not late. You are precisely on time. There is a question trembling in your throat, isn't there? Why now? You have carried these burdens for years. You have whispered your prayers in 1,000 desperate nights. You have asked for a sign, for a word, for any crack in the ceiling to let a little light through. And I was silent. You called it silence. I called it sacred space. The space where you had to decide, without any external proof, if you would still believe in the goodness of what you could not see, could not hear, could not feel. That test is the most profound one. Anyone can believe when the evidence is dazzling, but to trust in the goodness of the hand that seems to withhold, that forges faith in the deepest furnace of the soul. What you learned in that silence is your unshakable ground. It had to be yours, not mine. You had to own it. If I had answered you then, if I had given you the road map when you first asked, your faith would have been in the map, not in the mapmaker. Your strength would have been in the plan, not in the presence that guides you when the plan shatters. You needed to learn to walk in the dark, because what is coming requires that skill. The path ahead is not a sunlit broad highway. It is a narrow trail, and there will be moments when the light you have will extend only to the very next step. You will be tempted to freeze, to look back at the false lights you have left behind, but you will know how to keep moving. You learned that here in the silence. You learned to put one foot in front of the other, guided only by a promise whispered into your spirit long ago. That was the training. This is the application. I had to let you misunderstand some things. I had to let you believe a season was for one purpose when I was using it for another. You thought that relationship was about love. It was about boundaries. You thought that job was about career. It was about character. You thought that loss was about punishment. It was about purification. If I had told you the true purpose at the time, you would have rejected it. You would have argued. You would have run in the other direction, back into a smaller, safer story. So I let you walk into it with your own understanding. I let you frame it with your limited vocabulary. And all the while, I was working beneath the surface of your reality, doing the deeper, truer work. That is why the revelation feels urgent now, because the work beneath the surface is complete. The roots are deep enough. The structure can bear the weight of the truth. To reveal it any earlier would have collapsed the whole process. You would have taken a half-formed truth and used it as a weapon, against yourself or against others. You weren't ready to hold it with humility. You weren't ready to see your own story as part of a larger tapestry. Now you are. Now you can see that the waiting was not idle. The delay was not denial. It was divine chemistry. Elements were being gathered. Temperatures were being raised to exact degrees. Conditions were being calibrated. One variable introduced too soon would have spoiled the entire reaction. Your life is that reaction, a sacred alchemy, and the catalyst is this moment of understanding. Look at the convergence happening around you, the sudden endings that felt like collapses, the unexpected doors that clicked open with ease, the strange synchronicities you can no longer ignore. You are trying to piece them together like a puzzle. Stop. Let me show you the picture on the box. The pieces are not meant to be forced. They are meant to fall into place as you hold them up to the light of this new truth. That is what this message is. It is the light. It is why you can suddenly see the pattern in the chaos. It is why the memories that haunted you now make a terrible, beautiful sense. It is why the pain has a fingerprint. It was not random suffering. It was intentional sculpting. And the sculptor's hands, though they pressed hard, were never against you. They were for the form hidden within the stone. Breathe that in. The hands that shaped your hardest moments were for you. This is the foundation of everything that comes next. Without this understanding, the next season would break you. With it, you will bend. You will adapt. You will become. You will not be a victim of your circumstances. You will be a student of them. Every event, a lesson. Every person, a teacher. Every obstacle, the very material from which your new strength is built. This is the shift. From being acted upon to participating. From fearing the process to partnering in it. The silence is breaking because you are finally ready to speak the language of partnership. Not of a child begging for answers, but of a child but of a co-heir ready to understand the inheritance. The pause you feel now is heavy. It is the last moment of the old world. Listen to its sounds, feel its textures, acknowledge its passing, then let it go. We have much further to walk, and the dawn is waiting. You are afraid of what you must release. I see you, clutching the fragments of what was, as if holding broken glass could restore the vessel. You believe if you let go, you will lose proof that it ever mattered. You will lose the evidence of your old self, the map of where you have been. You must lose it. The vessel is already broken. The map is for a country you can no longer enter. The person you are trying to prove yourself to, that version of you, is already gone. You are in the hallway between two rooms. The door behind you is shut. The door ahead is not yet open. And in this hallway, you must set down every burden you carried from the old room. They will not fit through the new door. This is the confrontation. I am not here to gently take these things from your hands. I am here to tell you to open your fingers, to let them fall, to watch them shatter on the floor of this sacred empty space between who you were and who you are becoming. That dream you've nursed for a decade, the one that has become a ghost, haunting the halls of your mind. It was a seedling. It was not the full-grown tree. You have been watering a memory of a seed, mourning that it did not become the oak you pictured. But I planted an acorn of a dream, and you dreamed of a pine. You loved the shape of your idea more than the potential of my seed. Let the old dream go. The true one is waiting to break ground, and it is far more resilient, more suited to the soil of your actual life. That relationship you are still replaying in your mind, the one where you edit the conversations, where you rewrite the ending. It is over. It served its purpose. It sanded down your rough edges. It taught you the sound of your own voice saying no. It showed you a reflection of a wound you needed to see. The reflection is not the person. Let the person go. Keep the lesson. The wound is what I am healing. That version of yourself you perform for the world, the competent one, the put-together one, the one that agrees, that accommodates, that hides. It is exhausting you. It is a costume that is fused to your skin. You think it protects you. It only suffocates the true heart beating beneath it. I did not create a performance. I created a person. The performance must die so the person can finally live. This feels like a death. It is. But you misunderstand death. You see an end. I see a necessary release. A seed does not die in the ground. It surrenders its form. Its seedness ends so its treeness can begin. You are in the dark soil right now. The pressure is immense. Everything familiar is dissolving. This is not destruction. This is germination. You are not being punished. You are being prepared for a weight of glory your old containers could never hold. Why couldn't I tell you this before? Because you would have clung tighter. You would have made a bargain. I will follow you if I can keep this one thing. And that one thing would have become an idol, a shrine to your own will, and it would have poisoned the journey from the very first step. You had to come to the end of that road yourself. You had to walk it to its bitter conclusion, until you stood at the cliff's edge with the thing in your hands and finally understood, it cannot come with me. Only in that exact desperate place could you find the courage to open your hands. This is mercy, dressed in the clothing of severity. I am not stripping you. I am freeing you. Look at your hands. They are clenched, white-knuckled, around what you think is your identity, your safety, your plan. They are full. And because they are full, they cannot receive what I am ready to give you. The new provision is here. The new direction is waiting. The new strength is poised to enter. But your hands must be empty to accept it. This is the moment of surrender, not a surrender of defeat, but of profound trust. You are not letting go into a void. You are letting go into my care. You are exchanging the known weight for the unknown support. You are trading the map you drew for the guidance of my spirit. It will feel like falling, for a moment. Then it will feel like being caught. Then it will feel like flying. The hallway you are in is not a prison. It is a cocoon. The stillness is not abandonment. It is the intense, focused activity of transformation. Everything is being rearranged. Everything is being renewed. Do not rush it. Do not beat against the walls of this process. The darkness is holy. The confusion is part of the metamorphosis. Rest here. Breathe. And when you are ready, finger by finger, begin to open your hands. Now you are in the emptiness. You have let go, or you are trying to. And the silence has returned deeper than before. It echoes. You expected relief, a sudden rush of light, a clear path forward. Instead, you feel a vast, hollow quiet. This is not a setback. This is the most crucial part. You have cleared the ground. You have pulled up the old dead roots. The soil is turned, and now it lies fallow, exposed, vulnerable to the sky. This feels like regression. It feels like being set back to zero. You wonder if you made a mistake, if the release was not an act of faith, but of foolishness. This is where faith becomes substance. Before, you had faith in a future outcome. Now you must have faith in the present emptiness. You must trust that this void is not a verdict, but a vessel. It is not a punishment. It is the most sacred space I can create with you. A space where nothing of the old can grow, so that only what I plant will take root. I could fill this space immediately. I could send a flood of answers, a barrage of signs, a cascade of comforts. It would be too easy. You would attach to the first thing that grew, whether it was from me or not. You would mistake relief for direction. You would clutter the clean slate before the masterpiece could even be sketched. So we wait in this holy emptiness together. You are not waiting alone. I am here in the quiet with you. My presence is not in the whirlwind of activity now, but in the profound peace of the unformed. I am the silence that holds you. I am the empty space that surrounds you. This is the intimacy you asked for in all those frantic prayers. To know me, not just my works. Now you have it. Strip away the noise, the requests, the desperate bargaining, and what is left? This, my presence with you in the void. This is the answer to your deepest prayer. You are being rewired. In the clutter of your old life, you learn to listen for the loudest voice, the most urgent demand, the sharpest pain. You learn to react, not to respond. You learn to survive, not to discern. In this emptiness, your spiritual senses are being recalibrated. You are learning to hear the difference between the voice of fear and the voice of wisdom, between the impulse of panic and the nudge of guidance, between a thought from your own tired mind and a whisper from my spirit. This cannot be taught in a classroom of chaos. It can only be learned in the laboratory of stillness. This is why everything had to be stripped away. You could not hear this frequency with the old static of your life drowning it out. The static of other people's opinions, the static of your own striving, the static of a calendar packed with distractions. I needed you in a place where the only sound left was the beating of your own heart, and my voice speaking to it. The questions you are asking in this void are the right ones. Who am I, when I have nothing to perform? What do I love, when no one is watching? What is true, when all the old labels are gone? These are the questions of creation. I asked them over the formless deep, in the beginning. And from that contemplation, light was spoken. You are in your own genesis. This emptiness is your formless deep. And from it, a new light is about to dawn. A light you will recognize as your own, true unmanufactured self. Do not despise this season of seeming inactivity. The most important work in a forest happens underground in winter. Life is consolidating, gathering strength, preparing for a burst of growth that could not happen without this period of rest. You are in a spiritual winter. It is not dead. It is deeply alive with potential. The sap is sinking to the roots, ensuring the tree will not just grow, but withstand the storms of the next season. I am building resilience in you, not just passion. Depth, not just height. So stay here. Do not run from the emptiness to fill it with the first old familiar thing you can find. Sit in it. Let it unsettle you. Let it strip you of every last pretense of control. You are not in control, and that is your freedom. Your hands are empty. Your plans are blank. Your future is unwritten. And into this clean space, I will write a story that fits the person you have become, not the person you were pretending to be. The dawn is coming. But first, you must become comfortable with the dark. Not the dark of fear, but the dark of the womb. The dark of fertile soil. The dark where new things begin. Breathe in this empty air. It is full of promise you cannot yet see. Trust the void. It is held in my hand. A new sound is beginning. Can you hear it? It is not outside of you. It is within. A faint, steady rhythm underneath the silence. A new pulse. The first beat of a heart you did not know you possessed. This is the sound of alignment. The pieces of your life, the scattered, broken, seemingly random pieces, are beginning to vibrate at the same frequency. They are not moving yet, but they are stirring. They are recognizing each other across the years. The lesson from that old failure is whispering to the courage you found in that recent loss. The talent you buried in childhood is sensing the need that is arising in your present. The people you are destined to connect with are dreaming of someone like you, and in their dreams, you are already whole. This is the architecture of purpose being revealed from the inside out. You kept looking for a blueprint, an external plan to follow. I was building the structure within you. The compass was being installed in your spirit. The map is being drawn on your heart. The calling is not a job you will do, it is a person you have become. And now that the internal construction is nearly complete, the external world must rearrange itself to accommodate the new reality you carry. What you call coincidences are now collisions of divine logistics. The unexpected message, the chance encounter, the sudden opportunity that feels tailor-made, these are not lucky breaks. They are deliveries. They are the necessary components for the next phase arriving at the loading dock of your life, right on schedule. You are ready to receive them now because your hands are empty and your discernment is sharpened. You will not waste them. You will not worship them. You will use them. This is why the truth had to wait. If I had shown you this network of connection years ago, you would have forced it. You would have tried to manufacture the meetings, orchestrate the opportunities, demand the outcomes. You would have seen people as means to an end, and you would have corrupted the sacred timing of it all. You had to learn patience. You had to learn trust. You had to be stripped of your manipulative energy, your desperate striving, so that when these moments arrive, you can greet them with humility and grace as the gifts they are. You are not being led to a destination. You are becoming the destination. The peace you seek is emerging from within you. The authority you crave is being forged in your bones. The love you long for is flowing from your own healed heart. The external circumstances will simply become the arena where you practice what you have already become in the secret place. This is the great reversal the world does not understand. The world tells you to achieve, to acquire, to impress, and then you will be someone. My process is the opposite. You become in the hidden place. You are transformed in the dark soil of surrender. And then, from that state of being, you naturally and effortlessly have an influence. Your life becomes an overflow, not a pursuit. You are standing at the threshold of this overflow. But first, there is a warning in this mercy. With this new alignment comes new responsibility. Clarity is a sword. It will cut through confusion, but it will also demand decisions you have been able to postpone. You will see people and situations for what they truly are, not for what you hoped they would be. You will have to choose. You will have to set boundaries that feel like losses. You will have to speak truths that feel like risks. You will have to walk away from good things to embrace the right thing. This is the weight of the calling. It is not a crown of glory without a cross of sacrifice. The sacrifice now is the continued surrender of your small, safe life. You will be misunderstood. You will be lonely at times. You will have to bear the tension of knowing things others cannot yet see. This is the cost of walking in this new light. But the cost of going back to the old dimness is infinitely higher. It is the death of your true self. So take a deep breath. The period of passive waiting is concluding. The season of active collaboration is beginning. I will not do this for you. I will do this with you. You will move, and I will guide. You will step, and I will provide the stone. You will speak, and I will give you the words. This is partnership. This is the dance you were prepared for. The emptiness you endured was to make room for this collaboration. A cluttered heart cannot partner. It can only obey or rebel. A clear heart can converse, can create, can co-labor. Listen for the sound. The rhythm is getting clearer. It is the sound of your new heart syncing with the rhythm of eternity. It is the sound of doors unlocking in sequence down a long hallway. It is the sound of a story turning its page. Do not be afraid of the momentum you are starting to feel. It is not a train you must catch. It is a tide you are part of. You will not be left behind. You are the movement. Prepare to move. This is not an ending. It is an arrival. You have reached the beginning of the thing you were always meant for. The clearing in the forest. The shore after the long swim. The solid ground beneath your feet after the long free fall. You are here. But look around. It does not look like you imagined. There are no cheering crowds, no blazing signs, no perfect finished city. It looks perhaps surprisingly ordinary. Or it looks like a new set of challenges. Or it looks like a profound, deep peace that resides beneath the surface of everything. This is the point. The destination was never a place on a map. It was a place in your soul, a state of being, a congruence between who I created you to be and how you walk through the world. You have arrived at yourself, the truest, most unshakable version, the version that can walk through any landscape, of lack or of plenty, of solitude or of community, of struggle or of rest, and remain at home. Because home is now where you are, for I am with you. The journey was not to bring you to me. It was to bring you into the awareness that I have been with you all along, and that you have always been with me. This is the revelation that changes everything. The seeking is over. Now the living begins. The living from this unshakable core. You will no longer be driven by the wind of circumstance or the waves of emotion. You will be moved by the deep, steady current of purpose that now flows from your innermost being. You will know, not in your frantic mind, but in your quiet spirit. You will know the next step. You will know the right word. You will know when to stay and when to go. This knowing is your birthright, earned in the darkness, activated in the light. Go back now in your mind and look at the path. See how every twist had to be a twist. Every cliff had to be a cliff. Every silence had to be silent. You needed every single step to become the person who could stand here in this grounded confidence. If I had shortened the journey, I would have crippled the traveler. You are strong now, not with the brittle strength of willpower, but with the resilient strength of a soul that has been tested and knows its own source. So what now? You live. You live from this center. You love from this abundance. You work from this rest. You speak from this truth. You will no longer need to announce your purpose. You will embody it. People will be drawn to the peace you carry. They will be challenged by the clarity you hold. Some will leave. Let them.